Komm, so, machen wir. Hi everybody and welcome back to the Sizeless YouTube channel. You find us right now in Portugal, where we spent the last couple of days together with our development partner, contract assigned, big success, and we visited all the factories we are going to work with in the next development stage. And this vlog is all about taking you guys close from the terrain from Cologne to Frankfurt, airplane to Porto, car to Felgueiras and back to Cologne with a little stop in Frankfurt because there's a trade fair, taking you close what we are going to do to bring the Sizeless shoe concept to life. Welcome everybody, this is Leander speaking from the voiceover cockpit, and I will take you through our Porto trip and explain a bit why we decided to move on with a development partner based in Europe. We stayed for 4 full days, and as a team we agreed upfront that we wanted to have a first day in Porto without work appointments to get to know the city a bit better, have some nice food and walk arounds.
Isn't that lovely?
And that is indeed very lovely. Our first shared tapas and the first city stroll during the night kind of made the first day for us. When we then fell to bed and woke up on day 1, we knew, okay, now it's city exploring time, and we actually took that serious. Since I've already been to Porto, I took over the lead, and as a city guide for Team Sizeless, the team was aware that we will end up in cafes quite often. We started our day in a very nice spot and strolled then along the Douro River to a beautiful park where we spent our siesta. It was a very warm week, very sunny week, so playing a bit of chess and shadow was actually the best way to spend the mid of the day. The rest of the day was then more food, more drinks, in the evening more cocktails. So a very, very successful day, as Louis is now going to sum up.
Successful. Lots of alcohol.
No.
Lots...
It's on video, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm telling the video.
Yeah, here I have to make myself shut up because Louis' summary was obviously more honest and more spot on. I tried to distract from the obvious, but you guys can tell we had a great night, and it was also very important and did not distract us from going to bed early enough to be fully fresh next day when we stepped out early morning, drive out to the factories. So guys, join us in our Hyundai E30 up to our development partner. Vámonos! All the shoemaking, shoe assembling factories are based around the Felgueiras area, so the car was actually necessary. Arrived, following statement. We arrived. This is going to be our partner for the upcoming funding months. Actually a lot of cars, I didn't expect. I thought it's a small facility, but I think this is all the area here. And we are excited to meet Manuel now in a minute. So this is us stepping out after half a day briefing our development partner on what we are trying to build and are aiming to achieve. After the brief, we headed out to the factories we agreed on that would probably be best working with. First one was an outsole factory, so the factory that is building the outsole of the shoe. Since for us it's a very specific shape we are working on for the outsole, it was very important to check the capabilities of the outsole factory, and we saw different mechanisms in producing these outsoles. We saw different rubber mixes that you can actually have when building an outsole, and we just checked what is the factory able to provide. And after aligning in a meeting there, we headed to the next factory, which was then upper materials factory. Upper material is kind of the thing that goes on top of the outsole. The uppers are mainly knitted, which we are interested in, so we checked the knitting machines, and after also agreeing on building samples with them as well, we had a lunch break and intense car discussions about what we think about what we've seen today.
If we would have approached these factories without them, it would be a different chat, 100,000%.
A lot of the time they would just be like, no.
Yeah.
Our first appointment was made with a shoe assembling factory. That was back then the missing piece in our puzzle, and shoe assembling factories are responsible for putting together the produced upper and the produced outsole. And we had this classic walk around, saw a huge warehouse, which was very, very impressive, learned about all the different materials that are needed in the process of shoe assembling, and after also convincing them from our concept, we aligned on the timeline we pitched them as well. And last stop of the day was then Shoebox, which are already by now in our hands here in Germany. We have a nice first Shoebox proto, which you can see on our socials, and we are super happy with the contact that we made in this factory. Super helpful factory owner, very interesting walk around, and the shipping options and packing options we have with our partners in Portugal are very great for us. We in total visited 4 factories, spent 2 full days with our development partner, and since then know what we are building, in what timeline, and to celebrate that we had great seafood next to the beach. You can see a picture there, another city stroll around nighttime, and we knew, okay, let's enjoy the last bits of our trip before we head back. Since these days have been incredibly successful, we did not need another day of factory visits, so we spent the last day in home office in the cafe we already went on day 1. Very focused, doing the work that we could not finish while visiting the factories, and then heading back that night to Germany. Alex and I had quite a busy schedule that travel day. We landed in Frankfurt, and from Frankfurt we went straight to Offenbach to the Barefoot Trade Fair, the first ever trade fair in Germany only dedicated to barefoot shoes. A very international event. Barefoot shoes are right now the biggest and fastest growing segment, especially within kids footwear. And after making some contacts to the brands there, we closed one of the most successful, most busy weeks of Sizeless until then, and we're very happy with the outcome.